Hey guys, Stan here, back with another, well, this is going to be a little bit different. Kind of a reaction video, kind of review video. So here's what happened. I had just finished my reaction from an amazing recommendation from you guys. Did the upload, did the thumbnail, and I got the old notice from YouTube that it was blocked. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do a reaction to this song. But with this reaction channel, what's been amazing is the ability to discover new music and share that with you guys. So I did want to take a moment and share the tune, my thoughts on the tune, and talk about it. So the song that was recommended by you guys was Alkaline by the band Sleep Token. So I'll put a link in the description below, but overall, I was super impressed and inspired by this song. It already had 1 million views last time that I checked, and it was just such a cool vibe to the song. So as it started out, I was a little surprised, to be honest. Most of the recommendations have either been crazy gymcore or some really heavy stuff that sometimes is pretty heavy for this guy. It started out pretty sparse, pretty ambient, and just really a cappella with vocals and really clean and really melodic. And right off the bat, the vocalist had me sold. Just a really unique timbre and really thoughtful melodies over it. And that was probably, I'd say, the first chord of the song. And I was interested to see where it was going because it did get a little bit electronic in the beginning with the beats. But then the band came in, and this was just so cool. Just the sheer technicality and the groove that was happening behind the scenes. It was very genty, a lot of hits happening in there, and the kick drum, the bass, and the guitar were just in lockstep. And the way they were accenting over the bars was just super cool and super inspiring to me, and immediately caught me off guard because it was definitely, from a technical aspect, really cool. The guitar tone, super chunky, something that I'm a huge fan of. You know, I like it to be a little bit aggressive, and it's a tone that someday I'm going to figure out how to play some metal guitar. But what really stood out to me was the drummer. One of the things that I was picking up on is the fills that he was throwing in there behind the scenes. They actually, in the moment, and you know, correct me if I'm wrong, it almost gave me a little bit of this gospel approach to it. They were very technical, and they were crossing the bars and kind of ending the fills in unique spots. As I thought about, you know, the way the song was progressing, and they were really fresh. And I thought the drummer specifically, for me, really sold me on the song, and it really progressed the tune forward, which is a little different as I look back. You know, I've listened to it a few times since then, and a lot of songs, you know, as you're building dynamics, as you're building the story, you know, the drummer is kind of like in lockstep and kind of that stable force. And what was interesting with this particular tune is I actually felt like the vocals were more of that stable force, and the band built the dynamics around the vocals, which I thought from a songwriting perspective was really cool and really fresh. Because as the song progressed, the vocals actually kind of carried the same motive. It almost became kind of this droning melody as the bass player and the guitar player were kind of holding on that chunk. And then the drummer was just adding that dynamics by, you know, these really cool fills as the song progressed. I thought it was just such a cool song. There was such a display of musicianship, a technical aspect. And I really wish you guys could have seen my reaction because it was right up my alley from a musician standpoint. I have a link in the description below. I, again, highly recommend you guys check these guys out if you haven't heard them before. It's Sleep Token. I'm looking forward to reacting to more of their songs, but I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research to make sure that I'm able to upload it, because it does take a fair amount of time and effort to pull these videos together. But I did want to share it with you guys. I sincerely appreciate the recommendation. It was outstanding. I'm looking forward, even on a personal level, just digging into their catalog and seeing what else they have out there. But what I'm gonna pivot to is I'm gonna share with you guys kind of my initial reaction after I listened to the song. So it won't have the actual song in the video for copyright reasons, but you can kind of see my first take as I experienced that. So thank you guys for hanging around. If you like this format for sharing content, it's something I will do if I run into this type of issue again. But please keep the recommendations coming, and I'll see you in the next one. Is that it? Oh, man. I wanted this to keep going.
I felt like they were like building onto something. Like that song needs to be like double the length right there. Holy, I guess I was not expecting that. Most of the recommendations have been coming through have been, pretty heavy, pretty chunky, like a lot of screaming. That vocalist, holy smokes, man. He had a really unique timbre, which I was really digging. And like that band, it was so tight, and they were doing such cool syncopated riffs behind him. And I think that dynamic between the vocals and the band, I think just took it to the next level for me. That was so cool. That drummer too, I felt like it almost kind of reminded me of like some gospel fills almost in there. Like I know it was more of a rock band, but I felt like some of the stuff he was putting in there and the way he was fitting in those fills and going over the bars a little bit, that just reminds me of some of those like really tight gospel licks that I've heard the guys throw down. That, I don't know, there was really unique and a really cool flavor that he brought to that. And then the way the band was just so tight with it. That chorus too was so epic, and I thought it was cool how they went from like this very melodic verse to, it was almost like a droning kind of thing. So then your interest was kind of pulled to how the band was working through the syncopations, and then I felt like the bass was doing some really cool things and kind of pulling the harmony around with where the bass line was kind of driving to. So man, I feel like I got to listen to this one a few more times to kind of unpack it, but that was outstanding. Man, I don't know how these guys flew under my radar, because that is some cool musicianship. It looked like it almost had 1 million views too, so it's awesome to see that they're getting recognized by the community. So I think I'm gonna have to put these guys on my list of stuff I got to go deeper in. So if you guys have some more recommendations for tunes I should check out, that was 100% up my alley. That was awesome. Sleep Token, man, awesome stuff, guys. I'm looking forward to getting to know your material more. So thank you guys for sticking around, and I'll check you guys in the next one.